Hey everyone. So we are here to learn how to protect yourself from negative energy. All right. And give me just a second. Give me just a second, because that light glare is going to make me nuts. I usually don't have my window drawn over here, but I did. There we go. While we were on FB, someone had asked in the comments, well, how do you protect yourself? Because the post was about be careful who you let touch you, because there's energy transfer, right? And she's like, well, how do you protect yourself? So there's a lot of things, but there's two things that you protect yourself from. One is what is outside of you. Hey, Rita. One is what's outside of you. And probably the most important one is protecting yourself from what is within you. Okay. So at the end of this discussion, we're going to go over almost like a meditative visual process. So if you're not quite sitting down or ready or anything like that, that's fine. You have time to do that, because we are going to do that. We're going to sit and I'm going to talk you through a visualization process so that you know what being in good, clear energy feels like. So that when you need to, you can go back to that space and know that you're good and can make decisions or choices and things like that from a clear energy space. So we're going to do that at the end. In the meantime, I want to talk about listening to your intuition and protecting your energy. There are certain things, especially if you're empathic, that you can pick up on. And if you're not empathic, you'll pick up on real cues that let you know something is off, right? Because even if you're not empathic, if you were to hear two people screaming at each other, you could tell the energy is not good. Right? You could tell walking into that room, the energy is not good. So there are certain things that you can pick up on. When you're around energy that doesn't feel right, that there's something off, you can remember that your experience with whatever it is genuinely temporary. You're not going to remain in whatever it is presence for too long. And you can absolutely remove yourself from the energy respectfully. You don't need to give excuses or reasons why. For example, I was driving across the country back in 2018, 2019. I think it was 2019. And a certain person that I had dated once has issues, to put it lightly. And found out that I was going to be in Sedona. And drove overnight from Canada to Sedona, Arizona, which is an insane drive, to beat me there because he wanted to see me for whatever his reason was. And as I was driving through, because I was heading to California, and as I was driving through, I just had this gut feeling. I was like, don't go to Sedona. Just keep going. Like, the people that you want to see there, that love you there, they'll understand. Just keep going. And so I did. I just had a feeling, and I kept going. And messaged, reached out to the 2 or 3 people that I was going to see while I was in Sedona later, and said, hey, sorry. I was like, I just had this weird gut feeling to keep going. My guides, angels, whatever it was, told me not to stop. And all of them confirmed with me that it was a good thing that I didn't come, because what's his face showed up that morning and was going on and on looking for me, trying to see if anybody had talked to me, if I had been anywhere. Like, crazy. This is someone I ended up getting a restraining order against, right? In two countries. 2 countries. So, you can protect yourself first and foremost by listening to your gut, listening to your intuition. You don't have to know why your intuition is guiding you like it is. But if something is off-putting, no is a complete sentence. There is no reason or excuse that someone could give you that would make you bend from your position of no. No social nicety, no charm, no logic and reason. If the answer is no, it's no, right? Make sure, if you're protecting your energy, that you are listening to your intuition, listening to your gut feeling, picking up on the cues, right, in the outer experience. If you are not empathic, right, if you have more of a hypervigilance and can analyze little things inside the reality that would tell you that something is off, right, listen to your strength so that you don't find yourself in situations that you genuinely do not want to be in. It could be something so small as needing to run to the store, and it's down the corner and you usually walk, but it's a little bit late, and something in you is like, drive. Then drive. If something says you can hold off until the morning, then hold off until the morning. It's okay to say, no, this is not something I'm going to do, because if you think about it, everybody will say, I should have listened to my gut. I should have listened to my gut. But no one ever says, I shouldn't have listened to my gut. Like, damn it. I shouldn't have listened to my gut. So listen to your intuition. That is one good way to protect yourself from energy in the outer experience, right? There's always something you coulda, shoulda, woulda done to prevent certain negative events or encounters with negative people from happening. It's no different with people online, right? Fucking scammers and shit. Like, God knows, pages like mine and other people, and we let people know, like, we will never reach out to you for services. We're never going to message you and say, hey, or ask you to send us money. Like, you book with us through our shops, right? Me and Tanya have our Etsy shops. We don't ever reach out to you and ask you for that shit. It's no different on Facebook when people are like, hey, I pick up on your energy, or they start love bombing you in the comments and saying, you're such a beautiful person. I've been through the same thing. You should message me. Like, all of that jazz, it's all scam. It's all a scam. People telling you that they're, in service, or their child is this or that, or they're trying to get back to their children, or they need some kind of money for whatever. Like, it's all a scam. It's all a scam, like, and if something tells you that something's off, but you're like, oh, but what if they're telling me the truth, right? But what if they're telling me the truth? I would want to give to that. Well, that's why they use the stories that they use, right? That's why they use the ploys that they give, because some people fall for it, Mm-hmm. Oh, cool, Kristen. Love that. Yeah, the scams are ridiculous. The scams are ridiculous, and they get more and more clever. Like, I have auto block on certain comments. Like, when people put certain phrases inside the comments, it'll block it out on, at least on Facebook. It blocks it so that I have to go in and see the hidden comments and decide whether or not I want to approve it. Particular profiles who haven't been on Facebook for 24 hours and stuff like that. Hey, Lala, how are you? So, yeah, there's definitely things that you could do to protect yourself. If something feels like it's probably too good to be true, it probably is. And it doesn't mean that you don't deserve amazing things. It just means it sounds too good to be true, and you're no dummy. And you're no dummy, and it's okay to acknowledge that even though it sounds too good to be true, if it were legit and real, you would know it. You would know it, right? You would know it. There's something off when there's something off. That is the best way to protect yourself from outside of yourself, right? To avoid things before they transpire. And it's literally following your intuition. Because if someone were to reach out to me in my messages, let's just say I've never encountered scammers before, right? And someone reached out to me in my messages, and they were just like, hey, you're so beautiful. I couldn't believe it. As soon as I saw your eyes and all this stuff. Yeah, it sounds nice, but something in me would be like, who is this person and what is their deal? Who is this person and what is their deal, right? Yeah, there's a lot of shitty energy out there, and you just have to trust yourself enough to not deal with it. You have to understand people's motivations and be able to put yourself in their shoes, because you can't really harbor animosity towards such people either, right? It's not that they're, because then you're going to get into the idea of having to protect yourself from yourself. If you have a perspective that these shitty people are out there and they're this and they're that and they're evil, then it becomes you in a battle with good and evil. And you don't want to go there. It's like, these people, something happened to them in life that created who they are. They were taught something, experienced something that made them who they are, whether they are narcissists or sociopaths or psychopaths, or people with antisocial personality disorder, or people who are scam artists and blah, blah, blah. Like, there is something that happened to those people in life that they became who they are. So you need to understand that so that you can forgive their actions, but also be aware enough to not be foolish and accept it or tolerate it or allow yourself to be close to it, right? Because you can love people from a distance. You can forgive people and not have to have them in your energy space, right? Like, my mother is not a nice person. She's not a good person. I can love her and I can forgive her and absolutely keep her out of my life, So protecting yourself is acknowledging when someone is not healthy for you, when someone creates negative feelings in your experience, and that you have to create healthy boundaries, right? You have to create healthy boundaries. And we've talked about this with the members, most recently, your shadows will convince you that it's a good idea to get involved with certain people for certain reasons, selfish reasons or self-motivated reasons. Like we had a big discussion this weekend about the people who give with an agenda and how to know if you're one of those people. Because if you are giving for the sake of giving because it feels good, the thought of, well, maybe when I need them, they'll be there for me the way that I was there for them, right? If I need them one day, they'll be there for me. That's a toxic thought. Well, how is that a toxic thought, Grace? Because you're doing something really nice for someone and you would want them to reciprocate. You have to understand, the thought comes from a belief that you are not capable of having all of your needs met, that you do not believe in the divine, that you do not believe that the divine loves you and provide for you all that you need, that you would give and be kind to someone with the intention that they would give back to you in your time of need, and that if you have a need, they must be the ones to fill it because you were there for them. You are admitting that you are incapable and that you are not protected and will need things at a certain time, and you have to get it from them in order for things to be fair because you were there for them. And the example that I used was a person who gets involved with a married partner. And they're nice to this partner, and they're good to this partner, and they're there for them, and they give their all to them, and they're present for them, hoping that they leave their spouse for them. I'm so nice to them. I'm everything that their partner is not. You know, they love me. They care about me. You know, I understand them better. And as long as I continue to understand them and be there for them and fulfill their needs, maybe I won't be alone. Maybe they'll leave their partner for me. It's no different. It's no different. When you're nice to somebody and you're hoping that they save you in return because you save them, you're filling a hole for them and you want them to fill a hole for you. You're in a wounded place. Nothing good results from that. Nothing good results from that. It's wildly misaligned. Wildly misaligned. You cannot do something, fingers crossing, that a certain outcome is going to come about. You're misaligned. It doesn't go well. You're not protecting yourself from positive experiences. You've got to understand that if you're hoping a certain result will transpire because you're choosing a certain action or you're connecting yourself to a certain person, when you're in that mindset, that is a form of manipulation, right? You're trying to manipulate the outcome of your life to be such, and that's not necessarily aligned with divine will, the highest good. That would be like someone wanting to connect with me in my channel because they feel like they're going to get recognized or they're going to make more money, or they think I'm going to be famous one day, and so they're connecting to me so that they could be famous too. You're a shitty person then. You don't even genuinely believe in what I do on my channel for people. You know, hey Lorraine, it's no different. It's no different. It's riding someone's coattails. You got to be in alignment. You got to be in alignment. Right? There are literally people who have tried to connect with me because they think that I'm going to be fucking famous. And it's like, you know what? Maybe I will be famous one day. Who the fuck knows? But if you are involved with me because of that, because a part of your mind is like, well, what if, well, maybe. You have to understand that well, what if and well, maybe is a wound. It's coming from a wounded place where you don't believe in your own capability or the divine's plan for you, that you're trying to force an outcome or a personal agenda. It's coming from a wounded place. How do you protect yourself? By identifying the thoughts that seem like a good idea, but stem from a place of insecurity. I'm not capable of doing it on my own. I need them to do it for me. I'm not capable of finding a partner, a good partner on my own. So I have to take this person's good partner, who's not really a good partner because they're fucking cheating. You know, like, you have to understand what your intention is, because if you are misaligned with certain things, it's gonna hurt. It's going to hurt in some which way, shape, or form. It's going to result in sadness. It's going to result in frustration. It's going to result in roadblocks. It's going to result in wanting to give up. It's going to result in pain. It's going to result in pain. How do you protect yourself? Catch those thoughts in advance and be like, you know what, whatever I thought I could get out of this, I need to just surrender it, right? I need to just take my hands off and surrender it. Whatever is meant to be will be. I got to do as I am intuitively pulled to do it. Like, if something doesn't feel good, I got to let it go. If I'm trying to force something, right? If I'm trying to force an outcome to make up for my own weaknesses, I have to stop and remember that I'm not a weak person. Life is not for the weak. I'm not here because I'm weak. I'm here in this life because I'm strong and I'm learning things here. I'm not weak, because life is not for the weak. Life is crazy. Life is crazy and challenging. Like, you as a soul didn't come into this life because you were weak. Okay. You got to recognize your own strength. You have to recognize your own strength. Okay. How do you protect yourself from people in the outer experience? Because those people, they're vampiric in some which way, shape, or form, right? In some which way, shape, or form. And or it's an acknowledgement of your own vampirism. Because otherwise, why would it be in your mirror? Right? Why would it be in your mirror? Unless you have someone legit having these conversations with you and saying, like, you know, this is where this needs to happen. This is where that needs to happen. This is how we get from A to B so that we can eventually get to Z, you know, and they're following their own inner guidance system, because that's the only way around it. If you're dealing with an earth angel, right? Someone who I would consider an earth angel is someone who listens to their divinity, someone who does as they're guided, someone who is not afraid to say no or let people go their own way, right? You're dealing with an earth angel. How else, right? How else do these ripples of pain stop, you know, that we're constantly having to protect ourselves from, that ripples out to other people, you know, because if there's a pain body somewhere, the universe is going to stop it, right? The universe is going to stop it if it can. If not, it's going to affect a lot of people. It's going to affect a lot of people. Things perpetuate. You know, I was dealing with an ex at one point, and I noticed, because there was certain things that I was tolerating in the dynamic, right? There were certain things that I was tolerating. We're talking about 3 years ago. And the one thing, because my son has always meant more to me than anybody on this fucking planet, you know. And I always said, like, people could mess with me, but they can't mess with my son. I draw a hard line there. Like, I trust myself in dealing with shadow people and negative energies, but over my fucking dead body, if you're going to fuck with my son, right? Fierce, fierce mama bear instincts. And I realized that the person I was with, who self-proclaimed being sociopathic and acknowledged he was most definitely narcissistic, was trying to turn my son on me, trying to have secreted conversations, trying to get into my son's head about different choices that I've made in life that, you know, he felt affected my son in a negative way because he dealt with certain experiences and they affected him in a negative way. That person, my ex, didn't anticipate was how close my son and I actually are, despite all past And my son told me. My son told me the conversation, the whole conversation. And I was like, this is the conversation that you're having. In my head, like, this is the conversation he's having. Beyond my knowledge. Hoping that my son would keep the secret, right? Trying to gain power and control over my son to use against me, because my ex knew there was no way that I would bend or break on certain things for him. But if my son had asked me to, I would. So because he knew he couldn't get a certain result out of me, he was trying to force my son into alignment with him so that he can get the result that way. And I saw it for what it was. And it didn't matter that this person at one point was the love of my life. I left him. I left him. Something in me said, no, 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 no. Oh, no, 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 no. Like, you're not going to do that. You're not going to play psychological fuck games with my son. It doesn't. You don't know me like you think you do. You know, people think that they can get over on you. People think that they could take advantage of you. People think you're stupid. But at the end of the day, if you trust your intuition, if you trust that you wouldn't like it, you know, if someone did something to you, like, the golden rule is key. if you want to protect yourself, live by the golden rule. And I don't mean be a pushover for people, because you got to understand, if a part of you would want the harsh truth, if you would rather have the harsh truth, because the harsh truth, at least you could work with the truth, at least the truth will help you. At least the truth is the truth. You would rather someone be honest with you than lie to you. Then you have to acknowledge that and be honest with people instead of lie to them. If you would never want someone to cheat on you, you know, if you would never want that, then don't ever cheat on someone else. You know, if you don't want to be lied to, period, then don't lie. It doesn't matter what the truth is. The truth, quote unquote, sets you free, right? It's no joke. People who are in misalignment with you, who are not in your highest good in this life, will reject the truth. They will find reason to create distance between themselves and you because you spoke truth. And they can't get through it. They're in denial or whatever. They're losing control. At the end of the day, you have to decide, right? If you're going to protect your energy from other people, you have to decide if you would rather be around people who are real and genuine with you, or people who would be fake with you because there is something they're benefiting from in their dynamic with you. There's something they're gaining. A great example would be, let's just say you have a best friend who's in an unhealthy relationship and they're constantly calling you every day or every so often, and all they do is absolutely bitch and complain about their relationship and how horrible it is for an hour. Every time they call, they're complaining for an hour or longer. You know, any free time they have, they're going to be on the phone with you and they're complaining about their toxic relationship. And you're there for them, you're supporting them, you're telling them it's okay, like, I'm here whenever you need me, and blah, blah, blah. But if you were to tell them the truth, listen, like, I love you to death, like, you're my best friend, but every time you call me and complain about your partnership, it hurts me. It hurts me. It hurts me and gives me this hopeless feeling, this horribly hopeless feeling, because there's nothing I can do to get you out of it. Unless you choose to help yourself and leave this person, I don't want to hear it anymore. I can't. It's not fair to me. I'm suffering. that person will either genuinely respect the fact that you were honest with them, and when they call, they will not talk about their problem should they choose to stay with said person. Or, and more likely, they're going to tell you that you're a shitty friend. The guilt's going to come out. They're going to tell you how selfish you are with your happy life, right? That they're suffering in their relationship. Like you should be suffering with them. Like it's all kinds of stuff is going to happen. And what's going to happen is they're going to stay with their shitty partner and you're going to lose them as a friend. They're in misalignment then. The truth is your highest good, your protected self, right? When you're in a state of self-protection, the truth protects you. You do not deserve to feel that way when your friend calls. You do not deserve to feel that way after the phone hangs up. And you're feeling hopeless. You don't deserve that. If they were in alignment with your highest good, they would respect and appreciate the truth. People who are not in alignment will start to throw all kinds of negative emotions at you to get you to take back what you said so that they can regain control. They want you to apologize for being honest. How dare you? Apologize. Like some friends will be like, until you apologize to me, I'm not talking to you anymore. Okay. Then I guess we're not talking anymore because I'm not sorry for what I said. I'm not sorry for standing up for myself. I'm not sorry for being honest with you. I'm sorry that you don't see the good friend that I am and how much you're worth more than your abusive relationship. But I'm not sorry for what I said. God knows I've had to say that to people over the years. And it's hard. But it was the best choice. It always is. And they go through their healing eventually when they're ready. You can't force people to be ready for their healing process. You can't. People have to hit super lows sometimes. They have to find themselves between those rock and a hard place moments with them in life to start moving forward in their highest aligned path. You know, some people it takes longer. We have, for as many negative people we have out there, we got just as many stubborn ones. We've got just as many stubborn ones. And you can't be one of them. Another way to protect yourself would be to let go of the labels. Let go of the labels. This will help with the analogy that I just gave about the best friend, because they have the label of best friend. Well, they're my best friend. Well, they're my best friend. And having that label puts you under certain obligations of behavior. Well, you have to listen to them. You should be listening to them. You should be there for them. You're their best friend. You have to let go of labels. Well, they're my mother. It's no excuse to tolerate being treated like shit. Well, they're my sister. It's no excuse to tolerate being treated like shit. Well, they're my partner. They're my spouse. There is no excuse to tolerate being treated like shit, being spoken to like shit. Well, they're my son. They're my daughter. There is no excuse to tolerate being treated like shit. We will say it louder for the people in the back. You do not deserve, you and no one deserves to be lied to. No one deserves to be degraded. No one deserves to be silenced and be spoken over. Like your opinion or your feelings or your thoughts don't matter. No title or label warrants being disrespected. It doesn't feel good. And if it doesn't feel good, I promise you it is in misalignment. It is not in your highest good, because the divine would not have you feel like shit. The divine's intention truly, and you being here in this life, is to be happy and to thrive and experience joy and gratitude. That's why the wonder that is this world was created. To experience the beauty of it all. It's breathtaking. Life is amazing. Connections are amazing. They're beautiful. They're beautiful. That's why we're here. If we're choosing less than that, keyword is choosing. If we're choosing less than that, why? Because a label obligates you, including your race, including your culture. Well, I'm this race. This is what we do. Well, I'm this religion, right? It's a label. This is what we believe. This is what we do. If it doesn't feel good, it doesn't feel good. It's not in alignment. It doesn't matter what it is. Well, I'm in the military. They force us to do this. Well, then you might want to consider leaving respectfully instead of doing things that you are not okay with and will fight yourself mentally over later. Because pushing through things, when we ignore red flags, when we ignore our gut, when we use excuses like labels to do certain things against our highest good, against ourselves, those are the things we end up psychologically at war with later. The woman or the man who was trying to get someone to leave their married partner. And they don't leave their married partner. And you're left with the psychological mess of being used. It's a mess. You've got to heal from that. You didn't protect yourself from that. Right? Or the business partner, right? That leaves because you're not in alignment with the highest good of the company. You're not in alignment with the intention of the company. You're not in the highest good after you put in all this effort and all this time and you've been so close for so long and blah, 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 blah. And you want to point the finger and you want to blame. I promise if you're pointing the finger and you're blaming, there's something that you could have, should have, would have done. I even watched a video the other day. It was on Facebook. A 5-year-old called the cops because his mother left him home alone to go to the Apple store for hours. The quote unquote Apple store. A 5-year-old knew to call 911. Think about that. Like, if it doesn't feel good and you speak your truth, it will set you free. Like, some people should not be parents. They're not ready. That child deserves better than the state that it was in. The child deserved better. And somewhere along the line, an earth angel, probably a daycare, told them that in case of emergencies, you use the phone and you call 911. The truth set that child free. And whatever misalignment the parent was in, thinking that they could do these things and get away with it, they were taught. The universe is just. You can't point the finger and blame. You cannot point the finger and blame other people for hurting you. You can't. Not when you are fully capable of protecting yourself. You are fully capable. There's always someone, always, because the universe wouldn't have it any other way. There's always someone you can go to. whether you realize it or not, accept it or not. It's almost always the most unlikely of people, but there's always someone there who would help you get out of one situation so that you can start over and put yourself in another. Whether or not you blow it in the new situation is entirely up to you. But there's no excuse. Even children who are abused can go to a school counselor and tell, I'm being abused. My parents do this. They don't do this. They can tell. They choose not to because of fear, or that's their mom, or that's their dad, and there's love there. But if they listened to their feelings and said, whenever my mom and dad do this, it doesn't feel good. In fact, it feels more than not good. They could tell. Even as kids. As a kid, I had an incident with a next door neighbor, and I told. Even though they told me not to, even though they told me to keep a secret, I told because it didn't feel good. I told. Everybody is fully capable of protecting themselves, short of infants. Short of infants. And even then, the divine is looking out for them. Even then. So do not blame other people for disconnecting from you. And do not make excuses for other people that you would have to stay. Because there's always a way out if you're willing, right? Where there's a will, there's a way is just as accurate as the truth sets you free. Just as accurate. Where there is a will, there is a way. If you do not want to deal with someone or something anymore, there is a way. You have to allow the truth to set you free. The truth. There are people in this life I know that would want to reconcile with me, but they ended our relationship on lies. And in order for them to even have me consider welcoming communication with them back into my reality, they would have to come with full-blown truth. They would have to let go of all of the lies they're holding, because the lies are not protecting them. The truth protects you. The lies don't. This is what people get. This is where they get mistaken. Hey, Stephanie, how are you? Hi, Steph. Yeah, this is where people become mistaken. They think that lies are protecting them when they're not. Lies don't protect anybody. As a matter of fact, it's quite the opposite. Lies make the situation worse, which is why I tell people all the time, if you have to keep it a secret, because omissions are lies. Anytime you omit truth, you're not giving the whole truth. The person receiving the information is not making a decision based on the whole truth, and you're allowing it, which means you're lying. Okay, it's no different. So omissions are lies. If you have to keep a secret from someone who loves you, if you can't be honest with anybody, especially if just asked, maybe you don't have to, offer the information, but if you were asked, you would absolutely be honest. You have no reason to hide it. You would tell. If you are actively keeping secrets, you are in misalignment. You're going to hurt yourself and other people. You're omitting it. That's why that thought of, well, maybe if I'm there for them and I support them, I'll benefit from it later. That's an omitted thought. That's an omitted agenda. You would never tell that to somebody. You would never be honest if they asked you, well, are you only involved with me because you want this from me? Are you only involved with me because you think that? No, I would never think that. bullshit, right? Bullshit. I know. I love you, Steph. I'm glad you caught me too. Yeah, it's bullshit. You would never be honest with someone that was your thought. Well, I only got with you because I really liked you and I was hoping that you would leave your partner. I lied when I told you that everything was fine the way it was. Everything is good the way it was. It can go on like this forever. I lied. I really wanted you to leave your partner one day. Or yeah, I'm only in business with you because I think you're going to be famous one day. Like, no one would ever admit it. I actually had a woman who inadvertently admitted to me that the only reason why she was nice to me and telling me that I was like a daughter she never had was to make her own blood daughter jealous. The only reason she was nice to me like she was is because she thought that I was going to be famous one day and that her house would be worth a lot of money because I stayed there. Inadvertently admitted it. Didn't mean to, but she did. That was something she was keeping secret. Secret inside her head that slipped, but she was keeping it secret. She would never tell me that. And even to this day, if I asked her, even after she admitted it, she would be like, that's not true. I really cared about you. Yeah, you cared about me with an agenda, though. Right? So you can't omit things. If you can't be honest with someone and tell the truth, then you are in misalignment. And you have to accept. You have to accept if you are keeping secrets from someone, at some point it's going to end badly or it's going to result in consistent pain if you choose to stay in it with them. And vice versa. No different than people who are married but they're in love with someone else. They're in love with someone else. Choosing to stay with your partner is painful. You're in love with someone else. If you can't be honest and you're omitting it, even if you haven't cheated, even if you haven't acted on it, but if you love someone else and it's not your partner and you're staying in your marriage, the only people you're hurting is yourself and your partner and anybody else connected with you. Omissions. How do you protect yourself from negative energies? How do you protect yourself? Stop lying to yourself and other people. Tell the truth. Be honest with whatever it is that you are omitting and let the misalignment leave your life. Let whatever is not meant for you leave your life. Even if you don't obtain what it is that you want or love, it's going to free you from what is misaligned and open you up to the possibility that something aligned is there for you. But don't blame other people when you're not happy. You choose it. You choose it. No matter what age you are, or gender, or race, or culture, or religion. The most valuable thing I've learned in this life was, in fact, from the most toxic relationship I've ever had. Because I sat there and I was honest with myself and I said, I don't deserve this to him. I don't deserve this. And he said, yes, you do. And I said, no, I don't. And he looked at me and he said, yes, you do. Because you choose it every day. And the lightning bolt struck my brain. The revelation. And I said, oh my God, you're right. You're right. And I said, I'm not choosing it anymore then. And he said, what? Because the truth was, I knew I didn't deserve it. I knew that I didn't. That's the truth. I knew I didn't deserve it. I knew it. I knew it. I was good to him. I was loyal to him. I was honest and transparent with him. I was good. I did not deserve that from him. The treatment that I was getting. And so when I said, I'm not choosing it anymore, he said, what? I said, I don't deserve it. And you're right. So I'm not choosing it anymore. Not one more day. I don't want to be with you anymore. The love of my life. I broke up with him right then. The truth will set you free every time. And he was pissed, and he made my life hell for the next few days. He was narcissistic for sure. But I got free. And I didn't even have a car. I had my 16, well then 15, almost 16-year-old son with me. I didn't have a car. I didn't have any money. But I was able to leave. Because I was honest with people that loved me in my life. And they came through and helped me in amazing, miraculous ways. Some of them are here as a part of this channel. I thank God every day for those people. Like, you have to be willing to embrace the truth. How do you protect yourself from negative energies? You got to be honest with yourself. People always say all the time, well, if it's not a fuck yeah, it's a fuck no. And it's a catchy thing now, but it's the truth. If it's not a fuck yeah, if you are not excited to feel it, if it doesn't feel good, what are you choosing it for then? What label do you have? What incapability do you believe in about yourself that you are banking on someone else to fill that hole and using them? Despite abuse, despite lies, despite blame and omission, despite feeling like crap. That you're tolerating it. What excuse are you really believing in to stay? What are you using them for that you don't believe that you're capable of on your own? My ex genuinely thought that I needed him and was using him for money or a home or whatever I was using him for. Genuinely thought. He had no clue that I actually genuinely loved him and didn't actually want or need him for anything. I just wanted him. I loved him and that was it. I wasn't using him for a house. I wasn't using him for money. I wasn't using him for any of it. I just loved him. And he thought I needed him. He thought I needed him and that I was codependent on him. And he could not have been more dead wrong. I told him from the gate, I don't need you. I want you. And there's a difference. He didn't believe it. Because if I were using him for something, if I were using him genuinely, if I believed that I was not capable of doing it myself, providing for it myself, creating it myself, that I needed him to do it, that's codependency. And he could abuse me all he wants because I need him for something. And I would stay despite abuse because I needed him. But I didn't. It's no different the other way around with men who deal with abusive women. What do you need them for? What hole are you trying to fill that you're tolerating abuse from a toxic woman, right? Or whatever gender people resonate with today. What are you tolerating abuse for? How does your belief in your own incapability of being better or deserving better keep you stuck in codependent abusive cycles? Do you not believe in the divine that loves you and doesn't want you to suffer? God, source, creator, spirit, whatever you call it, higher self, Allah, whatever it is that you refer to it as. That energy greater than you that loves you and wants to see you smile and happy and feel at peace and feel safe and feel loved in this life. Do you not believe that it's there supporting you? Do you not believe that you are capable? We had this conversation with my members over the weekend. Everything you need in this life is here for you. Everything you need is at your disposal. If you think you need it and it's not there, then you really don't need it then. You don't need this and you don't need that. You have the truth, that's what you need. You have a voice, that's what you need. You're capable of writing, texting, typing, that's what you need. Everything else you need to get to wherever is in your highest good. The universe provides every single thing that you need. I didn't need a car to leave my ex. If I thought I needed a car to leave him, I would have been stuck dealing with it a whole lot longer. I trusted the universe. It didn't feel good to stay. I acknowledged it. I didn't deserve to feel like that. And the divine gave me a way. The universe, it gave me a way out. One stepping stone to the next stepping stone to the next stepping stone. I find myself the last 2 years in the most peace I've ever felt in my life. And my son, the same. The same. You can allow yourself to be moved by the power greater than you that loves you unconditionally and change your life. You can start to go through the healing process. This is how you protect yourself from negative energies in the outer experience. Acknowledging when something is not right and it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good to keep living in it. It doesn't feel good to keep choosing it. No matter who they are or what the label is, it doesn't matter. If you got to let go of a toxic parent, then you got to let go of a toxic parent. If you've got to let go of toxic siblings and toxic parents, then you got to let go of toxic siblings and toxic parents. Oh, and you got to let go of your entire group of friends because, you know, they're all toxic. Then you got to let go of your entire group of friends. Especially if you have friends that y'all drink together, y'all smoke together, y'all do drugs or whatever you do together, and you're trying to get sober and change your life because you deserve better. You're tired of feeling like shit. You're tired of feeling sick. You're tired of waking up with no money. You're tired of being XYZ and no one wants to be with you unless they're fucking worse than you. But your friends are constantly like, oh no, come on, just one more time, just one more time. Come on, hang out with us. Let's get fucked up, blah, 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 blah. You got to let go of your whole group of friends then. Because you're not going to go anywhere. You're going to be stuck on that level with them. Sometimes you got to cut toxic off no matter who or what the labels are. You got to cut off the toxic boss. You got to cut off the toxic coworkers. You got to cut it off if you got to cut it off. You have to trust that there is better. You have to trust that there is better. You have to open yourself up to better. Believe it. Believe that there is something better. Belief is everything. Everything. Because if you don't believe it, you're sunk right there. You don't believe you're worthy of better, you're sunk right there. Then you're not. What you believe you receive. Literally. If you believe you are incapable, then you are truly incapable and you're going to stay in said abusive situations. If you believe you don't deserve better, that you could never get better. You believe this is the best you can get. And you should be happy that you got it because you could never get better. Well, then that is your reality. You believe that. You believe that there's no God. You believe that there's no divine source working in your favor that loves you unconditionally and that you've got to be there for yourself and you're out for yourself at all costs. And you're one of those people who will beg, borrow, steal, lie, cheat to get by in life because you don't believe that there's anything greater than you to save you from this life, that you have to be there for yourself at all costs. You're going to lead a pretty shitty life. I can't imagine what it would be like to live a whole life trusting no one, never truly loving anybody, believing that life is shitty. If you believe that life is shitty, yeah, it's shitty. Yeah, it's shitty. You surround yourself with shitty people. You put your faith in shitty people. You don't listen to your gut. You fingers crossed and hope of people. You know how I feel about that word. Hey, Tanya, how are you? Yeah, you will experience what you believe in. I believe the divine loves me so much that if I was unhappy, it would create a way for me to move. I believe that the divine loves me so much that it would never, never steer me wrong with my gut. And I know that if I ended up with a certain person, that it wouldn't work out the way that I want it to. I deserve to be happy. I deserve to feel full and alive and at peace in my life. I believe that I deserve that, and I live it every day. Every day. I believe that the people that love me in this life will find me. And the people that wish ill on me, I believe the divine is helping them heal and protecting me from them. Believe it. Believe it. People can wish me ill all day. They can send bad juju and send black magic or whatever the fuck they do. Bad intentions, prayers that I die. They can send that shit to me all day. All day. I believe that I'm protected and loved, and that the divine is helping them heal. And that the only reason they're wishing those things at me is because they have healing that they haven't done yet. And that the divine is working with them because it loves them. And I thank the divine for being there for them and their healing. None of that shit touches me. None. None. I believe that I am loved and protected by God, source, universe, creator, whatever it is. And I am. You hold that belief. You hold that belief. And you start choosing in your highest good and acknowledge when things don't feel good, and you free yourself. You use the truth. Use it. Use the truth. Set yourself free. Acknowledge what doesn't feel good. Choose better. Trust that the universe will put you on a path of stepping stones to get you where you need to go, because you detoured off your highest good path, and it's going to get you back on it. You're divinely protected, and nothing can hurt you when you believe it. If you're empathic and you walk into a room and the energy is shit, you can walk right back out. You can walk right back out. Well, my best friend is in there and this person's in there. Okay, then tell your best friend, hey, I don't like the energy. I'm going to go. Do you want to come with me? If they say no, let it be. They're learning how to trust their intuition. They're learning how to believe that they're divinely protected. And they might already listen to their gut. They might be there enjoying something else, and that person's bad juju in the room isn't even phasing them. They're not even tuned into it at all. They're there for a completely other reason that they're enjoying. And if said negative energy were to try and make any kind of move into your friend's energy, your friend would be deterred and be like, no, I'm not interested. And they'd push it away. And if that person continued to follow them, your friend would leave. Like, you have to trust. You have to trust that people in high alignment with you are going to meet you on that energy level. And that they're not going to be hurt either. That you don't have to protect them. That it's the divine's job. It is not your job to protect anybody. It is your job to believe in the divine. The divine protects. That's the divine's job. If you choose in your highest good, you set off a ripple. You set off a ripple. Because what's going to happen is, no matter what it is that your friend is enjoying in the room, talking to whoever, experiencing whatever, they know that you didn't like the energy and that you left. And if whatever they're doing with other people, they're like, you know what? My best friend, they just left. We should go meet up with them and see if they want to grab this or grab that. They'll leave. Like, the universe aligns everything for the highest good of all, always. If you've got shit to heal, the divine has a way to help you heal it. If you don't believe in your worth, the divine has some crazy psychotic narcissist somewhere to help you heal it. I promise you. You have a hard time listening to your gut. The divine has a way to help you heal it. If you have a way of people pleasing to your detriment and you don't want to hurt anybody and you believe in labels and you believe in this and that and you believe in abuse and tolerating it, the divine has a way of helping you heal it. It's the divine's job. If everybody in the world just focused on healing themselves, the whole world would be healed. We are so focused on trying to help everybody else heal. Help this person, help that person, keep this person safe, protect that person. We are so conditioned and taught to be there for everybody else. And we can't actually save anybody else. It's not our job. You can only protect yourself and save yourself by believing that the divine loves you and protects you always and would never have you suffer. If you are suffering, it's because you're choosing it and you're doing a shit job of protecting yourself. We'll call spades spades, because the truth is the truth, and you didn't come here to be lied to. Not to this channel. Everybody in the world just focused on healing themselves, the whole world would be healed. The whole world. It's the only way. And it has to start with you. When you start making decisions in your highest good, when you start aligning, that ripple sets off a wave that becomes a tsunami of healing. Like the butterfly effect. You heal over here in said place at said time, and it's affecting a mass of energy down the way. You've got to trust. When one person starts acting in their highest good, it sets off a domino reaction, because it literally puts other people in positions where they are learning and healing and having to choose their highest good. Having to choose it. This is how you protect yourself from negative energy. This is how you do it. How do you protect yourself from yourself? How do you protect yourself from other people? You have to be honest with yourself. You have to be vulnerable and real inside your own head. You have to pay attention to the thoughts inside your mind and ask yourself, why am I doing something? Why am I doing something? What is the real reason why I'm doing it? Because it results in times that don't feel good. Even if some of it feels good in the moment, it feels like shit after. Like getting drunk. Some people will argue, I love being drunk, right? They'll argue it. I love being drunk. Yeah, it feels good in the moment, but it doesn't when you have relationships like family members cutting you off. Or you're having incidences with your friends and they're cutting you off. It doesn't feel good to wake up hungover and be sick, or rolling late to your job and lose your job. Yeah, drinking might feel great in the moment, but it results in something that doesn't. It's no different than cheating. Yeah, it might feel good to be with somebody in the moment, to feel seen and felt in the moment, whether you're the cheater or the cheatee. But it feels like shit after. Feels like shit going back into a situation where there's nothing but huge question marks, and you don't know if you're being used, and you don't know if you could leave, and you don't know if this or that, and it's just someone's going to get hurt, right? Someone's going to get hurt. It doesn't feel good. Yeah, it feels good in the moment, but it doesn't result well. It doesn't result well. Yeah, talking about someone behind their back and saying this and that and venting about someone behind their back might feel good in the moment. It doesn't feel good when that person finds out. It doesn't feel good when the entire circle of people ends up ratting you out and saying, yeah, they totally said this. Yeah, I told them that or that, whatever. And now you're the villain and you lost everybody instead of just being honest with the person to their face. You were talking about them behind their back. It doesn't result well. Just because certain things feel good in the moment does not mean it's going to result well. You have to be able to think about these things. You have a brain. You are not dumb. You are not weak here. You are fully capable of having cognitive thought and saying, you know what, if I do this, yeah, it'll feel good in the moment, but it always feels like shit after. Like lying might feel good in the moment to quote unquote protect yourself, but lies are not protecting you. Every lie, the truth comes out eventually, every single time. The truth will always come out eventually. The lie is not protecting you. It's just postponing the fall and making it bigger. It's postponing the damage and making it bigger. That's all it's doing. You're better off telling the truth from the gate. And the longer you hold on to that lie, the longer you hold on to it, the more bullshit's going to build. It's going to build. That lie is going to hold it back like a barrier and let it all build up until it finally releases. And then all that bullshit is going to hit the fan. You're better off just being honest. If you're honest with someone, well, I'm really only involved with you for this reason. Is that okay? It might be okay. Yeah, it's fine. If that's your intention, as long as you're honest with me, that's all right. I can work with that. This is how you protect yourself from negative energy. Okay. Now, I had let everybody know at the beginning that at the end, we were going to focus on a clearing visualization kind of meditation to help you reset yourself. Okay. So wherever you are, whether you're sitting, standing, laying, it doesn't matter. Just get comfortable. Okay. Because I'm going to take you to an energy space. And that's your natural state. It's how you should feel. If you feel anything negative outside of this, you can always feel better. This is a neutral, clear state, okay? Neutral and clear is where I'm taking you. If it feels worse than where I'm taking you, something is in misalignment. You have to be able to go through the thought process and say, okay, what are my intentions for tolerating this? What belief do I have about myself that is not true? How can I override my fear? How can I override what I've been conditioned to believe about myself? Right? You're going to have to do the digging if you feel worse than the neutral place I'm taking you to. The neutral and clear place. If you feel worse than the feeling, you have to start addressing it and be honest with yourself, truthful with yourself about why you're choosing certain things in the reality. Or you're going to continue to feel shitty. It's just the way it works. It's universal law. It's just divine law. It's the law of attraction, right? Literally, the law of vibration. You are vibrating at a certain frequency, and law of attraction, like attracts like, you attract that frequency. If you are unhealed, if you have certain shadows and certain demons that you fight, you're going to draw other people into your reality that also share those demons and those shadows, and y'all are going to have to go through a healing process together until someone chooses to elevate their vibration. So understanding your own vibration, understanding and recognizing your shadows, overriding the belief system that creates their presence is imperative. So get yourself comfortable. Let your shoulders drop. Let your butt sink into whatever surface you're sitting or leaning on, or into the ground. If you're standing, let it sink down through your legs and root yourself through your feet into the ground. Let your shoulders drop. Let your jaw drop. Drop your tongue from the roof of your mouth. Let the stress out. Deep breath in through the nose, nice and slow. Filling the stomach. Holding it for just a minute. Slowly exhaling through the mouth. Breathing back in through the nose. Holding it for a minute. Slowly exhaling through the mouth. Keeping control of your breath. Breathe at a nice slow pace that works for you, that feels comfortable. Now, as you focus on your breathing, I want you to visualize a bright white light coming in through the crown of your head and lighting up your crown, letting it penetrate through your body, letting it come down through your third eye chakra, that white light going down through the throat chakra, through the heart chakra, through the solar plexus chakra, the sacral chakra and the root. Letting that white light split, traveling down through your legs and into the ground, letting that stream of light come in from the divine through your body and into the ground. Continue breathing. And as that white light, that stream of light flows through your chakras, I want you to picture that white light slowly expanding to fill your body. Let it fill across your chest. Let it fill across your shoulders and into your arms. Let it fill the space from ear to ear. Let it get all the way into your fingertips. You can even watch the light start to escape from your fingertips and start to shine down in the direction your hands are pointing. Allow that white light to slowly expand now beyond your body. Allow it to glow around you like a shell. Allow the white light to fill your space. Allow it to fill your auric space. Keep focusing on your breathing as this white light surrounds your body. Inside this space, this egg-shaped space, you are protected in your own light. Any energy that is not yours, any shadow energy that is not yours, has already exited through your feet and into the earth to be healed. The shadows cannot exist where light exists. Light has filled your being. It's expanded outside of your being and into your entire field. Breathe in that nice, peaceful energy, that protected energy, breathing in the light around you, watching the light move through your energy. Thank whatever higher power you believe in for holding you in this space. My members know. Thank you, thank you, thank you in the highest. For you, we are eternally grateful. Now, on the outside of this energy field, right, this energy space that you've created, this egg-like shape that surrounds your entire body, I want you to picture mirrors. I want you to picture mirrors facing outwards. That this divine shell of light that you found yourself in has reflective mirrors all around it. Above you, below you, and on all sides. That there is no space between you and your light field and the outer energy that is not also shielded with a mirror. Allow your light to permeate just outside of those mirrors. Just outside those mirrors, that light that you're expanding from would touch those mirrors and reflect out into the world around you. Allow your light to reflect through those mirrors. And know and trust that as you hold the intention and the belief that the divine is going to hold these mirrors in place, that any negativity cast at you, any negative words, any ill intention or malintention sent your way from anybody else, the divine is going to give it back to them in the form of healing, in the form of light cast into their shadows to help them see. That your light would reflect back with their shadows, so that the divine can use the light, the experience of you and your energy to help them heal. That you would cast a light inside their shadows where they have refused to see. That you would shine light on their demons in such a way, known or unbeknownst to you, that they would have to face their demons. Focus on your breathing. Hold the intention that now and forever, in this time, space, dimension, and all others, that you are protected and you are loved in this light. And that your being, your existence from this moment on is to help others heal. And you are at peace. Nice deep breath. Believe now in this moment that you are protected and that nothing and no one can interfere with your light or the divine love that you are surrounded by. Nothing and no one. That feels good. Being loved by the divine and feeling safe. The space that you've created for yourself. That is your neutral and clear energy space. This feeling is your natural energy space. This connected to spirit, connected to the light, protected in that love. That is your natural, clear energy space. If something starts to take you away from that and put you in fear or put you in doubt or put you in anxiety or makes you feel like you're not capable, take a deep breath in. Wherever you are in your life, take a deep breath in and remember this energy. You feel it. You will never forget it. You will be able to bring yourself right back into the space with one deep breath. And remember that you are loved and you are protected and that you are going to choose in your highest good, so that you feel good no matter what that is. Whether it's staying or going or just being honest. That you will speak the truth freely. You will let it come out of your mouth, because anything misaligned is going to run the other way. Anything misaligned is going to try and fight you, but you're not going to argue with your truth. They can argue with your truth all they want, but the truth is the truth. And as long as you know it's the truth, they can argue until they're blue in the face. You're going to stand solid in your natural place, loved and protected by the divine, and hold the truth. And hold the truth. And you're going to shine. You're going to shine that beautiful light just beyond the mirrors, so that as their shadows try and get through this hard divine shell, that it reflects back to them with a little bit of light so that they can see themselves for the sad shadow that it is, that needs to heal, the sad state of their energy that needs elevating. Because a liar holds no power, none. It's lies. Lies hold no power. Malintention holds no power against the truth. The truth is that you are loved and you are protected, and it doesn't matter what their intention is. It can't hurt you. It can only reflect back to them for them to see. Nothing anybody says, Nothing anybody does, no matter what it is, can actually take your peace from you. Not when you self-own, not when you're self-accountable, not when you're listening to your intuition, not when you are of the firm belief that you are loved by the higher source, the higher power, whatever it is, and that you are protected. Nothing. Nothing. The shadows, the negative energies out there can challenge it all they want. They're not going to get through. Not that light. The shadow cannot exist where light exists. The shadows cannot exist where light exists. So you hold yourself in that light. Forgive any and all people who would cast any harm or ill will or malice against you because they need healing. Forgive them. They do not understand their own shadows. They are not self-aware. They have not forgiven. They don't even believe that they're loved. They don't even believe that they're loved by the divine and that they're protected, or they wouldn't be doing what they're doing. Forgive them and create healthy boundaries, healthy distance. No is a complete sentence. And you don't have to answer your phone. That is how you protect yourself from negative energy. If you experience wonderful, positive light and you're sharing light with other people and you're having an amazing experience, live that moment. Enjoy those vibrations, those really high vibrations. Hold lots of gratitude for them. Knowing that from this moment forward, you're never going to drop below your natural, neutral, clear state. That you will never choose it. That your choice to align with divine will, the divine's will that would never have you upset and never have you misaligned and never have you in a state of energy less than your natural state, the divine would never allow it. It would never choose it for you. Never. When you allow your free will to allow yourself to align your free will with divine will, the divine's will, who would never have you feel anything less than your natural, clear state. When you choose that, you are the person who just healed themselves. You are the person who is now rippling and shining in the world, being the butterfly effect. That's your healed state. Nothing and no one can ever hurt you. Nothing and no one. You can understand everything. Even if you don't know exactly what their shadows are, you understand that there's a shadow there. And you know that the divine is working on them and helping them heal. And it's not your job. You did your job. You did your job. Your job in this life was to come here and elevate your energy and experience wonderful life. You did your job. And that's amazing, because you've probably been looking to do that for thousands of lifetimes. Hey, Emily, how are you? So enjoy your beautiful energy. No one can take it from you unless you choose it. And if you choose it, it's because you're misaligned with the divine's will for you. You're choosing it of your own free will if you go below your natural state. And you can choose at any time to realign with your highest good. At any time. Even if you falter for a second, that's fine. Your mirrors didn't go anywhere. Your light didn't go anywhere. Your neutral space, your neutral state of being didn't go anywhere. Take a deep breath and reset. Don't allow the shadows of other people to bully you. Stand firm. Believe the divine has your back, because it does. It does. Forever, now, and always. It always has. It always has. It does right now, and it always will. Always will. You can live your best life. You can turn your entire life around. You can make your highest good choices. You don't ever have to feel disturbed in your energy. Ever. You don't like it when someone lies to you. Create a healthy boundary. Don't deal with them. Until they want to come through with the truth, let them go. They can hold that lie as long as they want. But you don't have to hold space for them. The divine does that. You have to hold that space, that divine space for you. The divine will take care of everybody else. The divine is powerful enough and omnipresent enough to take care of everybody else. That is not your job. That is definitely the divine's job. You can't be with somebody 24/7 to help them heal. The divine can. Let the divine do it. It's not your job to heal them. Is it sad? Is it sad to know that they're not healed and sad to know that they're choosing their suffering? Yes, but it is also a beautiful feeling to know that the divine loves them and is not going to let them stay that way. It's okay because the divine is on it. The higher power that be is on it. You don't have to worry about it. Worry would take you out of that natural state, and the divine would tell you, don't worry then. If the feeling is going to take you out of your natural clear state, it is not for you to feel then. Worry is not your job to feel. Don't worry about them. The divine can handle it. Fear, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. You trust yourself, you trust your intuition, and everything that unfolds is divine. Do not be afraid. To speak the truth, do not be afraid. Fear would take you out of that natural state. Your natural clear state. Your loved and protected state. You don't have to be this type of person or that type of person to experience what is essentially paradise here on earth. You know, I haven't really talked about it, but there's a Sanskrit word that I've got tattooed on my wrists, and it's samadhi. Samadhi is the Sanskrit word for what is essentially finding nirvana, the feeling of paradise wherever you are in this earth. And on the left, I have it facing me to receive, and on the right, I have it facing out to give. When you find yourself in that beautiful white light, that beautiful space, you allow yourself to open up the doors to what is essentially your highest good, which is your paradise here in this world. Your happily ever after here in this life. It's a feeling. It has nothing to do with your meat suit. It has nothing to do with your bank account. It has nothing to do with any of that. It has everything to do with a feeling. That nirvana, that state of peace, that surrendered peace, that feeling of being unconditionally loved by life, because you and the divine are like this. Because you're one with that light and protected in it, and you trust and you surrender and you take your hands off of things and you let the divine do what the divine does. It's within the divine's pay grade to do it. It's not your job. Your only job in this life is to focus on your own healing. And so long as you hold yourself in that light, so long as you don't do anything that's going to result in something negative, because you know in advance, you have intuition, you have logic and reason. If you do this, this is going to transpire. And it doesn't feel good when that transpires. So you know what? I'm going to stop choosing it. I'm going to align my free will with the divine's will, the divine who would never have me suffer, the divine who would never have me feel like shit. I'm going to stop choosing the shitty shit. The shitty shit for real. I'm going to stop choosing it. Because every time I choose the shit, it hits the fan. So I'm just going to stop. I'm going to accept the fact that the divine loves me and is going to steer me in the right direction. And that I have all the strength and capability of doing it, or I wouldn't be here. You didn't come here in this life because you're weak. You came here because you're strong as fuck and you decided to heal. Your part. Your part. You decided to heal your part. It's yourself. And when you focus on you and your love of self, that ripples to everybody else you love. All of the other facets of you. You have to be able to put yourself and your feel-goods first, because as a parent, it's the only way to protect your kids. You have to be able to follow your feel-goods and align with the divine will. That's how you protect the part of you, literally the part of you that is your children. You've got to put your feel-goods first, and not the instant ones that result in something negative later. I'm talking about the high aligned choices. You've got to put what feels good first. You've got to let toxicity go. You've got to stop fighting other people's demons like it's your job to fight them. It's not. It's not your job to fight their demons. You just simply be. You just simply shine. You just simply choose what's in your highest good, and they will deal. They will learn and they will heal. The divine will make sure it is so. It's not your job to heal anybody else. That is how you protect yourself and your energy. This is how you let the negativity in your life go. If you watch no other video on this channel, if you share no other video on this channel, then share this one. Replay this one. Watch it back. Reset and come into this space. I'll timestamp it. I'll timestamp it. So if you want to fast forward and hop, skip, jump to the part where we start resetting the energy, that you can reset. Make decisions from a clear state. Choose to move forward from a neutrally clear state where you know you're loved and protected. Don't make decisions when you're in a fear state. Don't make decisions or when you're under pressure and you're worried or you're doubtful or anxious or whatever. Like, don't choose from that state. That's going to perpetuate more. At the very least, choose from a state where you know you are loved and you are protected by the divine, and that nothing can hurt you, because you're not going to choose it. Always reset to your clear state. Always take the time you need before making decisions. Always feel really good about it. It should be easy. It should come naturally to make that choice. You shouldn't need to convince yourself or anybody else. If it's the right choice for you, it's the high-aligned choice for you, then it's the right choice and the most high-aligned choice for you. And it doesn't matter what anybody else says or thinks, because you would regret it if you chose against it. It wouldn't feel good if you were anything but honest with yourself. You can change your whole life. I did. Practicing exactly what I just preached to y'all for the last hour and 38 minutes. I changed my entire life. If I can, and I'm just a regular person. I grew up in fucking New Jersey. If I could figure it out, if I can change my life, well, that's why I'm here talking to you. That's why I'm here present. Because everybody can. Everybody can. I believe it. I believe it. So much love, much love and support to all of you. I will have that timestamp down there for you guys to go through it. And until we next meet, divine love and light, let it serve you well. See y'all next time.